Bole Baba ki jai, Jagdambe Mata ki jai, Haidakhandi Mata ki jai. So now we're going to do a little bit of chanting. And today is Sunday, Beru Baba Day. And then we'll have a discourse from the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam. But we'll start with Jai Ganesh. We'll start with Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai. Does anybody know which number it is?
Jai Ganesh?
Jai Ganesh,
23. 23. 23.
It's so hard to hear everybody in their masks. Just in time, girls. We're on number 23, Jai Ganesh.
They don't have 20.
Page 23.
Or 23.
Jai Ganeshwari ki jai. Radha ki jai. Any requests?
I have a request.
What is your request?
Say hello, Jay.
One more time.
Jay Ganesha. Jay Martin. Jay Ganesha.
Jai Ganesha. How about one to Jai Ma? Is that a good idea?
Is that a good idea?
They're close relatives. As a matter of fact, you know who's Ganesha's mother?
What is Deva exactly?
Do you know who's Ganesha's mother? The Divine Mother is Ganesha's mother. Wow. Let's do a different one, Mother. Any other requests?
Yes.
We got it. We're going to do one to Mother.
Number 10, please.
Which one?
Number 10.
You won't have that.
Uma Parvati.
Oh, yeah. Let that one go. Number 10. So Parvati is actually Ganesha's mother for sure. Is that correct?
Yes.
So we're going to now sing to Jai Ganesha's mother, Uma Parvati, number 10. ki Jai. Bole Baba ki Jai. Yes, my dear?
Can we do this? J-Ma. J-Ma?
Jai Ma. I'll say
That's number 12.
number 12. And we'll do number 12. So now we're going to read a story about Mother. I'm going to take off my mask for this.
Oh, yeah.
Well, my computer bag is right behind the door, and in there are my glasses, and I see much better with my glasses. I'm sure none of you noticed that. Are you okay waiting another 15, 20 minutes to hear about Mother? It's so lovely. Yesterday we told the story about the importance and the significance of Navratri and doing the Navratri like we're doing here. And today we're going to find out about a very special place called the Nanisa Vana, where they're actually listening. So all of you are like the Munis, the Rishis, and the saints who like to pray a lot, and sing and dance to Mother a lot. And they're all in the Nanisa Vana listening to Sutta recall these stories that he heard from Veda Vyasa, who wrote the Purana, which is the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam that we're reading. So are you ready? You're comfortable? Good. Okay. So, once more, the Munis of the 6 illustrious families are gathered in the Nanisa Vana, sacred forest, sanctified for ancient revelations. In their midst sits Sutta, who has learned this Purana from the awesome Veda Vyasa himself, who wrote them. Sunaka, the eldest of the Munis, says, "Profound Sutta, we Brahmanas have come to your feet today in terror of the advent of the Kali Yuga." This is the time we're in, which is a more challenging time, because not so many people remember to pray like you do. So during the Kali Yuga, we have heard that listening to the holy Bhagavatam of the Devi, the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam, can free us from samsara, this endless round of births and deaths. Master, we would hear this immortal Devi Bhagavatam from your lips. Sutta says, "Fortunate am I that the wise want to hear the Purana from me. Brahmanas, I bow at the lotus feet of the Mother of the universe before I begin." Om. Everyone knows that Brahma created the worlds, yet Brahma is born in the lotus that sprouts from Vishnu's navel. Then again, Vishnu rests upon his serpent Ananta, who lies upon the ocean of Ekarnava. We ask ourselves, from what primal source has this infinite sea come? And we turn for sanctuary to the source, the mother of all things, the Devi. Thus begins Sutta in his voice that is quiet as an ocean deep. He pauses, his eyes shut, his body still. After a moment, Sunaka murmurs, "My Lord Sutta, when we grew afraid of the looming Kali Yuga, we went to Brahma in his palace at the heart of the wondrous Brahmavana. He plucked a mystic wheel from his mind and cast it down into the world, onto the earth. He said to us, Munis, where this wheel falls, there you should remain until the feral Kali Yuga ends and a blessed Satya Yuga draws over the world again. The wheel will protect you, for the Kali will not enter its confines." The wheel from Brahma's mind fell here in this Nanisa Vana, and when we entered within its boundaries, the luminous thing melted into the ground like white violet fire. So here we remain in this auspicious forest, waiting for the Kali Yuga to end. And we are fortunate indeed that you have come among us, Master, to bless our long wait with this precious Purana, the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam. Sutta draws a deep breath, and his eyes still shut continues. Hear of the birth of Veda Vyasa's son. So Veda Vyasa wrote, the Purana. Now we understand that we're all in this Nanisa Vana too. And here are the birth of Sukadeva, who's Veda Vyasa's son, who first expounded the Puranas in the world as he heard it from his father, Vedavyasa. So once Vedavyasa, the son of the fisher girls, Satyavati, sat in his ashram on the banks of the golden river Saraswati, when he saw 2 sparrows feeding their newly hatched chick. Never had Vedavyasa seen such adoration in any living creature as he saw in those parent birds. As they thrust the food, they softened in their beaks into their child's gaping mouth. Never had he seen such love, such ecstasy, such devotion. Vedavyasa thought, if these sparrows, who will never see their child again once he can fly, love their young one so much, how much more will a man who expects the world of a son? Ah, surely to caress and nurture one's own child is the greatest joy that exists in this world. Moreover, how can a man die in peace unless he has a son to whom he can leave his wisdom and his earthly possessions? A child who will touch fire to his corpse and perform his last rites, so that his soul can rise up to heaven. Vedavyasa decided that no man can be fulfilled unless he has a child, and his mind turned to how he himself could become a father without delay. The good Muni set out for Mount Meru to perform tapasya so he would be blessed with a child. When he arrived on that holiest of mountains, he built an ashram for himself, then wondered, which god shall I worship? Which will grant me my desire most swiftly? Shall I pray to Vishnu, to Brahma, to Shiva, to Indra, to Surya, to Ganesh, to Agni, Kartikeya, Varuna? Suddenly he heard someone softly plucking a veena and saw the wandering rishi Narada, who had arrived there, as though by chance. Vyasa warmly welcomed Narada, and then they sat down on Dharma asanas. Narada said, Vyasa, you seem careworn. Tell me, what troubles you? Vyasa smiled wanly and replied, Muni, the man who has no child leads an aimless life, and I'm uncertain which god I should worship to have a child of my own. Narada laughed delightedly. Vyasa, knower of the ambrosial Puranas, once my father, Lord Brahma, asked this very same thing of Vishnu. At once Vishnu lapsed into yoga, a deep trance. Amazed, Brahma said, Lord of the universe, what samadhi are you plunged in? Whom do you worship, O cause of causes? At your word, the sun ranges the sky, fire burns and the wind blows. I, who am the Lord of creation, was born in the lotus sprung from your navel. Vishnu, you are the greatest of all the great, yet here I find you at worship. Who is worthy of your devotion, Vishnu? Vishnu said with a smile on his perfect face, Brahma, indeed you create, I preserve, and Shiva destroys the universe. Yet, without Shakti, the Divine Mother, the 3 of us would be inert, powerless. Mahashakti, the goddess, is the highest power of all, and she animates the rest of us. It is her I worship, Brahma. Who else? It is by her wish that I incarnate as Matsya and Kurma, Narasimha, and all the rest. It is by her will that I once had my head severed and a horse's head set upon my neck. There is none I know of higher than Parashakti, and it is upon her that I meditate, said Narada to Vyasa, adding, so friend Vyasa, you would also best worship the deity for your boon. After a while, Narada left. Vyasa sat in Padmasana and began to worship the deity Bhagavati. So said Sutta to all the munis. Do we have time for just one more story? Oh, it's very short. It's okay? I know you're getting back to dinner,
Yeah,
but
I
this is
know.
the story about the white ass. So listen up, girls. Okay? Okay. So this is how this Purana goes. So Sunaka's rishis say to Sutta in some surprise, my lord, you said Vishnu's head was severed? We have never heard anything as astonishing all our lives. Tell us, how did such an incredible thing happen? Suta smiles. Once, when he had fought the Danavas, Madhu and Kaitava, for 10,000 years without pause, Vishnu grew tired. He sat in asana in a forest. He leaned his head on his mighty bow, and he fell asleep. Meanwhile, Indra and the Devas, Brahma and Shiva arrived in Vaikuntha to worship Vishnu, who is their Lord. But they did not find him in the city of miracles. When they sought him in the secret vana in which he had taken refuge, they found him in the swoon of Yoga Nidra, otherwise asleep. They sat down around the sleeping blue god and were concerned to see the protector of the universe like that, plunged in a strange stupor. Indra said, "How should we awake Vishnu from his slumber?" Shiva answered, "He will be annoyed if we dare to rouse him, but truly we do urgently need to see him." At which Brahma created a hive of vamris, the white ants, and loosed them on the bow, against which Vishnu rested his head as he slept. If the insects ate through the end of the bow, the other would rise, dislodging Vishnu's head and wake him. But the Vamri said to Brahma, "How dare we disturb the sleep of the Lord of the worlds? To disturb blessed sleep is a sin equal to tearing a husband from his wife. Moreover, what do we gain by this crime against Vishnu?" Brahma immediately replied, "If you do this, you shall have all the ghee and samagri, the rice mixture, that falls outside the pit of the homa for yourselves. So hurry and rouse Vishnu." The greedy white ants devoured one end of the bow. The bowstring gave way with a report like a star exploding. The sea rose in a tidal wave, mountains shook, meteors fell screaming from the sky, the sun fell below the horizon, and evil omens filled the four quarters. The alarmed devas saw that Vishnu's head had been severed from his blue neck by the whiplash of the bowstring and was nowhere to be seen. They began to beat their breasts and wail, "Lord Vishnu, invincible one, you have been decapitated today and we are to blame." Even Shiva seemed stricken, and Brihaspati, who is the guru of the devas and the embodiment of wisdom, advised, "These tears are of no use now. When fate tries us, we must exert our intelligence to save ourselves from danger." But Indra cried, "Fie on your intelligence! Vishnu's head has been struck off by our folly. Our fate is all-powerful, and we are helpless against it." Brahma said, "Indeed, fate is unequivocal, and all that has been born must suffer. Only Mahamaya, the Devi, can help us now. Let us worship the Divine Mother." Brahma summoned the Vedas who were there incarnate and commanded them, "Sing the hymns of the omniscient Divine Mother now." And the resplendent Vedas did so at length, fervently calling out many of her thousands of names. Then they sobbed, "Bhagavati, Mother, are you angry with the ocean's daughter Lakshmi that you have killed her lord today? Hari's head has vanished like a dream, Devi, and no one but you can make him alive again." Then a voice more exquisite than beauty itself spoke to the devas from the sky. "All will be well again, Suras. Golden Vedas, I am pleased with your worship, but nothing in the universe happens without a good reason. Once Vishnu looked at his wife Lakshmi's face and laughed, and Lakshmi was distraught because she thought he had seen something ugly in her perfect features. She became suspicious that maybe he had another wife, or he would not laugh at her like that. Sorrow turned to wrath as the tamasic Shakti possessed her. As she cursed him, "May your head fall off." She even thought it would be better to be widowed than to have her lord take another wife. It is by that curse that Vishnu's head fell off into the salt sea today. And it is from another curse as well. Once the demon Haidakhandi performed a tapasya for 1,000 years. He neither ate or slept, but chanted my name ceaselessly until at last I stood before him in my tamasic body. I saw he truly loved me, for when he saw me, his eyes filled with tears of joys. I said to that demon, Haidakhandi, I'm pleased with you. Ask for any boon you like. He said, Mother, let death never approach me. Let me be invisible against the devas and asuras. Let me be an immortal yogi. Asura birth follows death, as death does birth. You cannot be immortal. Ask for another boon. The canny Asura replied, Then, Devi, let me find death only at the hands of one who has a horse's face like me. So I blessed him. Let only a horse-faced one kill you, Haidakhandi. Pleased to no end, he went back to his kingdom, and ever since he's been the scourge of all the living. And no one can kill him, because none of them have a horse's face. So Devas, find a horse's head and fix it to Vishnu's neck, and let him be rid the world of this terrible demon. And so Vishvakarma went out and found a horse and put it on his head, and attached to the horse's head to Vishnu's throat with sacred mantras. At once, Blue Vishnu stood up, neighing so loudly it seemed that the sky would be shattered by the sound. The horse-headed god flew at the horse-faced demon, Haidakhandi, and tore him from limb to limb. So says Sutta to the Munis and the blessed Nanisavana. Bole Baba ki jai, jai Mahamaya ki jai. Now, do you understand about the white ants? And about Vishnu's head falling off? We have to be very careful with what we say, huh? Any questions?
What exactly happened when the curses happened?
Wait, can you put down your mouse so I can actually
What
hear?
exactly happened when the curses happened?
What exactly happened when the curse?
Curse is happened.
When the curses happened.
Well, yeah, I asked somebody that, a teacher, I said, why do they do all this cursing, you know? Because, I don't know, do you ever get angry and you might say something not so nice? I think that's part of it, but the other part of it is sometimes to fulfill the dharmic needs, and there was a need to rid the world of this demon that was hurting it. So that was part of that curse too, was that it would. So outside there's food. Please everybody eat today. And there's chai. It's Indian food today, so you'll be really excited, girls, I know. And we can go in and offer butter. Oh, I forgot all about our video going. So Bole Baba ki jai. Thank you. We'll go up and say goodbye to Mother. And may all of our prayers and love at this beautiful Divine Mother Festival time fill the world with more peace and happiness and compassion. Bole Baba ki jai. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 with the Devi Puja.